This is the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Wednesday, September 28th. I'm Michael Groff. We had some gusty winds, blowing dust, and reduced visibilities hit portions of the East Valley last night. Not really much in the way of rainfall, unfortunately, though. Unsettled weather should continue the next couple of days, and maybe some of us will see a little bit of that rain that we so desperately need around here. Look at it as we step outside right now. There are a few showers and thunderstorms across the North Valley right now. Otherwise, we are partly cloudy, 75 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew point 54, relative humidity 48%. The winds are east-southeasterly, and the barometer is falling. Satellite picture shows a few clouds across south-central Arizona. All of this moisture still wrapping around an upper low across northwest Mexico. That should continue to lift northwest as we go through the day today. And there you see on the radar a few showers and storms in eastern Arizona and even a few around the valley here as we zoom in a little bit closer from Glendale up toward Peoria and Sun City. Even a shower approaching South Scottsdale at this hour, but really not a lot in the way of heavy rainfall or good soaking rain, but a few showers, and you could hear a rumble of thunder. All right, as we look at the watch warning map this morning, it's very quiet out there. Just a flash flood watch for portions of Virginia, Maryland, and West Virginia, and some air quality concerns for the Houston metro. On the convective outlook, we've got a marginal risk of severe weather from around Lexington, Kentucky up towards Cincinnati and portions of the Carolinas and Virginia today. Tomorrow, no organized areas of severe weather are anticipated. Looking at the tropics in the East Pacific, we've got old Rosslyn still spinning around down there off the Baja. Max sustained winds 40 miles per hour. That will continue to weaken rapidly and move north today, and whatever's left over of that moisture plume should move into the southwest states tomorrow, maybe helping to enhance our chances for precipitation. All right, we'll get into it as we look at the models. The 06Z GFS valid at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time today. There is that upper low that is going to drift into southeast California this afternoon. That's the same low that's been spinning around here most of the week. Broad southerly to southwesterly flow. We'll still have some moisture coming in here, though. Widely scattered showers and thunderstorms will again be the rule from the rim country down through eastern Arizona. For us, I think we see a few less clouds today, and there could still be an isolated shower or thunderstorm throughout the daytime hours, but I think the best chances, if any, are this afternoon. Most of us won't see any measurable rain. Those that do probably just see a few hundredths of an inch. An isolated storm could certainly produce more, but it's the same forecast that we've had the last couple of days. There could be some blowing dust this afternoon, yada, yada, yada. It's the same thing. 10% chances of rain, mostly sunny skies, high temps right around 90 to 93. Here's the precipitable water this afternoon. You see that we still have some moisture around here, 1 to 1.2 inches, but I mean, that's not really all that impressive for the warm season. Still, it is enough to ring out some isolated storms. The high-res model's not looking too bullish on precipitation. Here's the HRRR at 5 p.m. today. Doesn't really show a lot. Any action that is going to go on will be over eastern Arizona or perhaps up toward Mojave County and maybe toward Flagstaff, but not a whole lot around here. All right, now tomorrow could be a bit more interesting. We'll have some more of that moisture from whatever's left over of Rosslyn moving on in. We'll have a little short wave moving on through. So all of that will help to ring out some showers and thunderstorms. There's a little bit of disagreement in the models as to exactly when that's going to occur and the best placement of that precipitation. And dynamics are certainly a bit of a question, but I think all of it still culminates to about a 30% chance of showers and storms tomorrow. We'll have more clouds around for sure. We'll call it mostly cloudy. Still some peaks of sun, though, for sure, throughout the day as well. Highs getting up into the upper 80s to low 90s. Now, that, of course, assumes that we get a bit of sun in the morning. Now, there's, again, disagreement here. This is the NAM tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., and it shows showers, maybe some thunderstorms here in south central Arizona. Now, of course, if this pans out, we probably would be cooler, have a more showery regime throughout the morning and maybe even into the early afternoon hours. By 5 p.m., the NAM shows most of the action moving off to the northeast, but still some isolated showers and storms here in south central Arizona. Decent Cape values, but the better values, of course, exist across eastern Arizona for tomorrow afternoon. And the mid-level temperatures, well, they don't look too bad, about minus 10 C or so. So if we can get some sunshine, get some instability going tomorrow afternoon, could see some showers and storms. Again, we'll go with about a 30% chance. But even at that, Most of us aren't going to see much in the way of significant rain. The GFS is optimistically saying about 1/10 of an inch. Sure, there could be a spot that gets a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch out of a storm. That is always possible with thunderstorms around this part of the country. But most of us not going to see a whole lot. And the best chances, of course, will be in the mountains north and east of Phoenix, as is per usual. By Friday, the models have been a little bit slower to dry us out, but still southwesterly flow will start to kick on in as a trough begins to develop off the Pacific Northwest coast. So rain chances technically not 0, but we're going to just call it partly cloudy. High temps getting into the low to mid 90s on Friday. The best chances of storms, northern and eastern Arizona. Weekend looks really good. Saturday dry with westerly flow aloft. High temps, low to mid 90s. Same for Sunday. Low to mid 90s and low temperatures during this time, mid 60s to mid 70s. So definitely very manageable temperatures. Will be at or slightly below normal. The normal high on October 1st is 94 degrees and we'll be right around that. On Monday, the trough starts to dig further into the western states. Our high temperatures would back down into the mid to upper 80s. Then the models start to diverge quite a bit from this point forward. Tuesday at 5 a.m., for example, the GFS shows that we are dry, westerly to northwesterly flow aloft. The European, on the other hand, shows disturbances moving through the southwest states, some moisture advection, and chances of showers coming through here. At this point, we need to see some good run-to-run consistency before we buy into any specific forecast. We'll just go with persistence, call it dry, but partly cloudy, and we'll go with highs in the mid to upper 80s once again for Tuesday. Here's a week from today. This is Wednesday, October the 5th. Again, pretty good low moving into North Dakota. We would be under the influence of this trough. Fairly dry conditions, northwesterly flow, highs in the lower to mid 80s. The other elephant in the room, obviously, is our tropical system that has yet to develop. I want to emphasize that point. It would be Matthew if and when it does. And the GFS is showing today that that system would be moving into the outer banks of North Carolina, heading toward Virginia. Thursday, we would be dry as a little shortwave ridge tries to build in across the southwest states. Temperatures right about normal. We've got a pretty good trough going into the eastern U.S. And same for the end of the forecast period. This is Friday, October 7th. Dry conditions, near normal temperatures. That means low 90s for our highs, upper 50s to mid 60s for low temperatures. Sounds about right. Now, of course, there is plenty of concern regarding the evolution of the tropical system, which would be named Matthew, should it develop. But I remind you that, again, it has not developed yet. Not even a tropical storm as of the time of this recording. But the models do show some type of tropical system developing ultimately. Where it goes, what happens, a psychic has just about as good a chance of predicting where it's going to head as the computer models do. For example, this is the European on the end of the forecast period, October the 7th. It shows Matthew as a major hurricane, a 928 millibar low to the southeast of Miami. A day and a half earlier, the GFS shows Matthew hitting the outer banks of North Carolina, headed north toward the northeast United States. So there's no real good idea as to what's going to happen with this system. You got to watch it. You got to keep track of it. But for now, it is not worth getting excited about. With that having been said, let's take a look at temperatures through the period. And here we go. We're going to be warmer this weekend for sure, but then cooling off into the mid 80s next week. That looks perfect. Fall weather here in Phoenix. Lows in the 60s. Many of us will get down in the 50s. That's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. Our next video posted tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great Wednesday.